Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this week's magical message. Like every week, I pray that you have had a wonderful weekend and you are prepared for an extraordinary week. So, we're going to look at the overview of this week, and we have the Sun card as well as the Strength card. So, these two cards coming together really point out that there is new opportunities and new space for you to move into. And sometimes that can be scary. Sometimes it can be hard because we've left things behind as well. And so sometimes moving forward can seem really daunting. It can be very nerve wracking. And, sometimes you're just unsure, about these next steps, these new steps. And so this week is going to call for and support that forward movement and the strength that comes from inside that says, you know what, this is a new space, but I'm good and I'm okay and I'm gained all the necessary things to take these new steps. And anything that's exited my life, anything that's shifted or changed has done it for the better. And it's prepared me for what it is that I'm about to receive. So going into this week, know that you are moving forward, and this energy is about moving forward. Now, we're also in the midst of a retrograde, so it may seem as though things are not happening very quickly. It could seem as though, you want things to kind of speed up a little bit. But the things that are happening this week, even though they seem to be moving at a slower pace, they are a lot bigger than what you think or feel that they are right now. So just make sure that you're still minding those details, just as you would if it were huge things happening really, really fast, right? Make sure that as this week moves forward, you are minding those details. You're crossing your T's and you're dotting your I's. You're making sure that you check in with yourself and you're being present with yourself as you move forward, so that you can really channel that inner strength and move in these new spaces as your best self. Okay, so we're going to go into the beginning of the week, and we have Soul Lost Dreamer 3 and Miss Robinson. Okay, so this really points out, and then I also got a card of the Nine of Knives. So just kind of like as an extra clarifier card, I kind of just set it off to the side. But the overall energy of the beginning of the week is that you are coming into new realizations. One, around things that you've let go of, or things that have maybe you've lost something, right? Maybe there's been something that you have had to release that wasn't your choice, or maybe it's something that has been your choice, but you're really kind of in that space where you're in a recognition of the shifts and the changes that have taken place, and you're standing in this new place. And so it's kind of like this first new energy and being aware of the things that are no longer present or no longer present in the way that they were. So this could also come with, old relationships coming back up, old situations, kind of peaking back up, not because they're there for you to hold on to or for you to keep, but they're there so that you can allow yourself to move forward, knowing that you're in this new space and you let those things go for a reason. And so trust yourself, right? Trust the space that you're in. I also feel like, there could have been, or maybe you're in the midst of kind of going through maybe some kind of conflict, right? Someone could have misjudged. Someone could have been in a space where what they believed about you was incorrect. And so there's also going to be a certain awareness that they were incorrect. And this could also be fueling some of that old energy coming back up, right? Because sometimes people don't realize what it is that they've lost until they've lost it. And then when they feel like they've lost it, then they kind of want to come back in, right? But make sure you're minding your boundaries. Make sure that you are paying attention to what's really for you, what's really worth it, and what can actually stand in this beautiful sun with you, right? Because just because something wants to be present, it doesn't mean that it can be, and it doesn't mean that it can support you in sustaining what it is that you are meant to bring forward. Okay, so just be mindful of that. But there's also justice with this card. So if you've been on the more light side, if you've been on the integral side of these energies, then know that you're also getting justice this week. Know that the light, the sun, is going to shine on you, and you will be seen and known clearly. Okay. The important thing would be to mind your boundaries. Okay. And this is not the energy for lashing out and acting vindictive and this kind of thing, because in you lashing out, in you just putting out those more negative energies like that in response to something is going to backfire on you. Okay. So make sure that you're not doing that. Make sure that you're staying with yourself and in a tongue tied in a space of peace. Because these energies are really just supporting you, letting go, setting those boundaries, saying this is what it is, allowing other people to stand on their word. And if that's what it was, if that's how they felt, if that's, how they wanted to move, then let them stand on that, right? If situations and stuff have left and they're not, opening that door back up, stop banging on the door. Right? Stop trying to continuously open a door that is closing. And when you do that and you turn around, you'll realize that something much greater was waiting for you all along. Okay. So now the middle of the week, we have Dreamer 3 Jubilance and 10 of Baskets. So this could be something really, really beautiful, or you could be freaking out in the middle of the week. So towards the middle of the week, you're looking at blessings related to family, relating to family home. You're looking at dreams coming true and really being able to say what it is and really create and harness that energy on a spiritual and really magical level, and really begin to allow things to manifest that are not seen coming, right? It may seem like all of a sudden, bam, 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 these things just start happening and they're manifesting, not because they really happen that quickly, right? But because these things have been in the process for a while, right? And it's interesting that this energy would come in during this retrograde period, just because of the fact that they are things that have taken a minute. It took more work, it took more energy, it took more healing and more thought than what it may appear to be when these things manifest, but they're there, right? And it feels like any disagreements, it feels like conflicts and that thing, especially dealing with family and those close relationships, are going to find themselves healing and kind of miraculously clearing up, right? Now, on the shadow side of this could be a lot of worry. This could be a lot of energy that is more negative going into creation, right? And obviously we know that if we're creating and we're putting in negative energy, we can imagine what takes place with that. So, with the 10 of baskets on the negative side, if you're feeling those energies on a more shadowed end, then you may be experiencing things like a loss of home or issues within your family. Maybe you're getting ready to go through a breakup or a divorce. Maybe there is some more shadowed tower moment kind of experience that you may be experiencing. But again, it's not even, I said the tower because of the energy of things kind of like shifting, right? But again, these things have been in the works. So the energies will play out as they are divinely meant to. And even if you do experience things like a breakup or divorce, and it's a more shadowed energy, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a negative thing for you. Right? It's something that's clearing out, it's something that's shifting and changing. But either way, regardless to how you're experiencing this, is giving you the opportunity to really grow and transform and take the blessings, whether they have been things that have exited or they're things that are coming together or coming back together, and really transform your life with them. And this time during this slower period is giving you the time to kind of reflect and be with yourself and really look at what it is that you're creating and how you're creating. Okay, so now we have the Son of Sticks and Strength. So, we had the strength card with the overview of the week, and here it is again with the end of the week as our outcome. Okay. And the Sun of Sticks is a very magical, very potent energy being. And there are a lot of things that he can do. There's a lot of magic and potential there. So by the end of the week, for those that are experiencing the lighter end of these energies this week, expect by the end of the week that you are going to really be feeling some kind of mystical and unexpected and mysterious kind of in some ways, because you don't necessarily know what's on the other side, but there's an intrigue that's pulling you. There's an intrigueness that's just kind of like attracting you to it, and you may not even be able to explain why or how. It just is, right? It's just happening. But you feel it, and you feel it like in your heart, like you just know this is the way to go, right? This is where I'm supposed to be. And it may seem crazy to other people. It may not seem to make sense at all. But what's happening is that inner strength that you pulled on, it opened something up within you. You choosing yourself and you setting your boundaries, it opened something within you that's allowing for you to pass through doors that's going to get you where you're trying to go a little bit faster or in different ways than most other people would have to go, So it's a really beautiful time. And it really is showing a graduation period, right? You've used this inner strength throughout the week. And so now this inner strength is paying back. This inner strength is opening up new doors, new opportunities, and really showing more potential, more of your own potential and what it is that these scenarios in your life can produce. Okay. And so the other thing too is like by the end of the week, you want to be mindful of your thoughts. You want to be mindful of the energy that you put out. And if you're doing spiritual work specifically, making sure that you're being very mindful because it's very solidifying. It's very okay. That's what it is. So make sure that you're balanced. Make sure that you're making really wise decisions. And make sure that you're not moving in ways that can, again, backfire because they're out of integrity. Right? And no one else but you, right, can really say whether or not something's out of integrity with you. But make sure that you're not lying to yourself so that you can okay something that you really don't need to do or that you really don't need to be a part of. Just make sure that you're being and standing in a place of integrity because these things are happening very quickly. In terms of just the things that are manifesting in the ways that they are, and again, they're manifesting quickly now, not that, it was something that just, boom, you said it and there it was. That's happening as well. But there's also an energy of things that have been in the process for a while that are just, bam, popping up. And so your thoughts and your mind and the work that you do will help to solidify those things. So just make sure that you are standing in the position that you want to be in as you move forward. Okay. Also expect some surprises by the end of the week. These surprises are meant to open up doors and move you forward, but they feel very positive, so these don't feel like surprises in a negative way. But they could take you in a slightly different direction than you may have previously thought. So if that happens, if you have something unexpected happen, if you have a surprise that comes and it causes you to move a little bit differently, don't see it in a shadowed aspect, right? Because things are shifting and moving in the way that they are on purpose. And they're putting you in a better position, even if it doesn't make sense right now. So really trust this energy. I'm really feeling like, by the time we get into next week, we're going to have a lot more manifestations just happening, just one after the other, just really, really quick. And and just this heightened, very intense energy. So make sure that just in general, when you are around others, be aware of your surroundings, because not everybody is going to hold these frequencies in a way that is healthy or that is safe or sane. So just be mindful of people's breakdowns, right? Be mindful of the energies that you're around and that you're entertaining, because this time is allowing for whatever is inside to come out, and it's coming out in bigger ways. One, so that it can be looked at, observed, acknowledged, and then moved upon appropriately. But it's also coming out because there is something greater getting ready to take place. Just in terms of people, period, and the world that we live in. And so things are kind of gearing up for that. So mind yourself in all of this intense energy, mind your boundaries, make sure that you're standing in integrity, and use that inner strength. Trust yourself and know that you are headed in the right direction. And there's nothing that you can't do. Okay. And by the end of the week, you will be feeling that powerfully and strongly. And no matter what it looks like now, no matter what things are taking place now, know that something really beautiful and transformative is getting ready to take hold, even if you don't see it in your life just yet. But it's definitely coming. All right, so I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you would like to make a comment, or if you would like to share something with me, all of my contact information is down below. If you'd like to book a reading, that information is there as well. Thank you all again. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and tune in next week for our magical message. Love you all. Bye.